Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we are going to look at a product from Inception Designs today that is built for autocockers, old or new. It really doesn't matter, it'll work on all of them. So on the front block of your autococker, you have a secondary regulator. It sits right below the ram assembly, and the ram controls the opening and the closing of the breech so that you can load and eventually fire paintballs. So in order to direct air into the ram assembly to make it open and shut, you need to reduce the working pressure of the gun. So running the pressure coming from your first stage regulator into this, your LPR second stage regulator, this will then divert airflow into either the cycling system, the three-way, or into the ram assembly to move the breech back and forth, or the block that opens the breech up and back. So this is the LPR from Inception Designs. It has an adjustment on the front where you can either increase or decrease the amount of pressure that is coming out of it that is then being transferred into the three-way or the ram. It is easy to disassemble and easy to rebuild, which is probably the selling point of this. It's going to work. You know that it will work given who it comes from, but ease of use is simple on this gun. And literally I can take it apart with these two tools right here. It all uses all standard O-rings, so no weird metric size O-rings or stuff that you can't readily find at your local pro shop. So let's go ahead and pull it apart real quick. We'll take the cap off. Cap's got one O-ring on it right there. And then your spring right there. Inside will be your piston. Just take a pair of pliers, gently grab a hold of it. This is threaded in the middle. You could stick your caulking rod from the back of your gun. You could unscrew it out of the back, thread it into here, and I believe you should be able to pull it out with that. So this is your piston right there, one O-ring on there. Now inside we can grab the core. You could use these rounded point needle nose here. You could use a standard pair of needle nose, any kind of plier that'll get in there. There's 4 different grooves that you can grab onto. So that pops off. That's like the cap to the core right there. Here's our main assembly. So you've got an O-ring on there, an O-ring on the pin, our spring, and then another O-ring. So O-ring, O-ring. That goes inserted like that. Then an O-ring on there. And again, these are all standard size O-rings. So you don't have to worry about tracking them down anywhere. And then this just unscrews off the back here. This is the coupler that will mount the assembly, your LPR assembly, to the actual front block or vertical ASA, depending on the style of gun that it is, style of cocker that you have. So back cap with one O-ring on it, and then the LPR right there. So again, super simple. Not a lot of parts inside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 5 O-rings, or 6 O-rings actually, on it. Really the only O-rings that are moving around that will really wear a lot would be the 2 O-rings on the pin and the 1 O-ring on the piston right here. So 3 O-rings that you probably would need to replace. The other ones you would eventually replace if they ever failed on you. But seeing as though they don't really move around, they're not dynamic O-rings. There's not a lot of wear on them. So easy, easy, easy. I mean, and then putting it back together is just as simple as taking it apart, if not more simple, because you already know how it comes apart. I'm just going to take that and thread this back on. Give it a little snug. Put our spring back on our pin. Put it through that cap. Grab onto it. Push it in. And then push it down and tighten it. Don't overdo it, just snug like that. Put our piston in. You want to make sure that the piston goes in with the threaded section facing you, like that. Just push it down, put our spring on top of that, and then screw in our cap. And easy to rebuild, easy to work, easy to assemble. It's a great little setup right here. So if you have an old cocker that needs an LPR, or you have a cocker that has an LPR already and it's terrible, you have a stock one that isn't adjustable, or you just want something that looks a little different, pick one of these up. It will work. It comes from a fantastic company, so check it out. If you're into cockers, this is the LPR for you. Inception Designs LPR low pressure regulator. It's available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.